Alright guys, so time for another update. I worked a little bit more on the arena mode. Now there's a player slider and an enemy slider for number of enemies or players. There's an asteroid slider here. But what I wanted to show you guys is the actual battle editor. So when you're a one-man team, you try to make things that you're going to use in multiple places. So this asteroid field generation in the arena mode is also going to work in the battle editor. And if I slide this slider, we're getting some asteroids here. Obviously this is a pretty bad formula since they're all so clumped together, but maybe this is a little interesting to you guys how the development process goes. You often end up with situations where you create some really bad stuff, at least for me anyway. Maybe that's just me, but usually there's a lot of little funny steps in the way like this. So I'm going to work on this asteroid generational formula and hopefully improve it so that it is not it is not this crazy as you see here. So here's another attempt, and this time I multiplied the number of asteroids by 100 to get a sort of a sense of scale of the field to try to separate them. Here we go. Doesn't look so bad, right? And now we're a little too far apart, and now we're way too far apart. So just another step in the development process. I have to tell the asteroids to be closer together. 100 units is too much. So I did some changes to the formula, and let's take a look. We're in the battle editor here. We're going to go to this environment. So now what I did was I took the value 25 and I divided it in half because there's a positive and negative. So the distance between them is 25 units per asteroid. And when I slide the slider, at first they kind of hit each other, but the more I move them apart, the random values will kind of nudge them apart. I'm going to move this light object out of the way, and I'm going to add a ship, and I'm going to take a look at my really simple asteroid field. Yeah, it's not so bad, right? For about 5 minutes of work. So what I could do is I could have these asteroids kind of clumped together. So maybe this big one will have a bunch of medium ones, and maybe the medium one will have a bunch of small ones. You know, I can do quite a lot of more interesting stuff. I can research some formulas. Maybe you guys can suggest some formulas. Maybe I can use some sort of noise formula to create these, like, you know, games like Minecraft, they create their landscape through noise formulas, which are these random number generating formulas. I could do things like that to make this even more interesting. But for now, it's not a bad field. Not a bad field for the amount of work I put in. So now let's look at the arena mode with the asteroids. I'm going to choose my player, and I'm going to choose my enemy. I'm going to choose a weaker enemy, just so I'm not embarrassed too much here. And I'm going to say I want 10 of my guys. I'm going to say I want 20 of the enemy. I'm going to say I want a bunch of asteroids, and I want a bunch of dust too. And I'm going to hit start. And here we are. We have a cool instant instant battle with a bunch of asteroids, bunch of enemies. Very quickly we can just have some quick fun. You know, maybe some modders can create some ships, and maybe they'll use this to test different ships, have them fight against each other, see how they did. So thanks for watching.